crisp 40-degree autumn evening. This basketball hotbed and a short drive across the East River into Queens is where we find ourselves tonight for one of the ascending programs in the country. St. John's welcoming in the Bison from Bucknell, and we've got it for you tonight on TNT. As we welcome you courtside here inside the great Carnesecca Arena, Spiro Ditas, Rob, as John Griffin's Bison going to try to make some noise as they pull what they hope will be a stunner here as we're off and running in Queens. John Gaffney, Ed Corliss, and Michael Lucky.
They're going to make St. John's prove it over the top with the jumper.
Quite nice fight. Ejiofor dropping a dime underneath to Hopkins.
I love that he didn't say
during that timeout huddle, but it looks like he's quieted down, settled down a little bit as he tries to get his defense settled in. Good start to this game for Ian Jackson. You know he's motivated, Robbie, after coming off the bench now for a third straight game.
Some open threes, but they've got to keep driving this and looking for action in the paint like right there. John Griffin talked to us at shoot-around today, Spiro, about how he has coached him as hard as just about any player. It's a good sign right there for St. John's. Shows on Sanity. He can certainly get it going.
Sets the Darling. Shot clock at 14 seconds. Into the corner. Hopkins a three, and he buries it.
All of a sudden, St. John's finding some rhythm. They continuous. Burton likes that mid-range there. That's where he wants to live.
Hopkins inside. It's Ejiofor. First lead for St. John's at the 10:42 mark. 1 point St. John's lead. Oziah Sellers. He's their best shooter, fills it up. Silky smooth mid-range Jay.
A lot of credit. Off that defensive rebound, he was pushing that thing and looking for a shooter.
Hopkins chiseling his way to the low box. For aging all of us with that comment.
Yeah,
good looking stroke. Sannon fills it up from deep. Jared, what do you got? Offense has hit a little bit of a wall here. Beautiful lead pass. And the recovery underneath. Dylan Mitchell swooping in for the block. Disappointment with his team's defensive play is starting to get through to his team as Leopoldos bangs in a three. Very quickly putting his imprint on this game.
St. John's personnel, that is so much easier said than done.
This is Bray from deep, and he buries it.
He showed us against Bam at the Garden. He knocked down a couple big threes in the second half.
15-2 St. John's spurred over the last 5.5 minutes, and their defense continues to flex. Jackson ahead of the pack.
Well, that was just Ruben Praise.
So Jackson handling the point, gets it to Hopkins, open three, and he rattles it down. He can give them that element
from them. They've got to make threes if they're going to have a chance of getting back in it.
Hopkins picking up where he left off, gliding to the cup. And a chance
away from you.
Underneath this is Sannon. Finding a spot in the low box.
Shooting, but I like the way that he can physically drive in. Out of steal from Darling.
And he's going to glide in. Bucknell may need a timeout. Largest lead of the night for St. John.
Has given St. John some problems.
Ejiofor is going to face up and shoot, and hits.
There it is. Get the ball to the middle. And that whole thing fans out, and you've got Jaden Williams.
Three-pointer from Jackson. And actually, Pahutski's last basket is Prey to steal. Margin for error so slim for the Bison.
See from your freshman, just giving maximum effort.
There's a chance for Pitino to get some of his bench players some run. Prey off another Bucknell turnover. That's a great moment for some of these players, their families, no doubt. Here's Hopkins, spots up, and snaps it in from deep.
He's making threes. Good luck guarding him. They're in such a way.
And now, Robbie, with the way these guys are getting paid, they can invest in some court stuff. Good-looking stroke from Jackson. He's got 13 points.
There's a ton of credit for turning this thing around, but Zuby Ejiofor's been here this entire time as well. I think for a guy to kind of like set the foundation and build the culture there, right? Like the late nights, but mix that with early morning workouts, with everything that he's doing. It is remarkable to see Rick Pitino's energy, even in, what, year?
Its wins last year, 18, tied a Big East record. But look at Mitchell, just nasty. Dylan Mitchell.
Nowhere to go.
And Robbie, they're still playing. As Odie all the way to the rack.
In the Bison locker room, before these guys left for the court, Rick wrote a message on the whiteboard from Behan saying simply,
Steps into a new season. St. John's continuing to push. Jackson, corner pocket three. That's good. And Jackson putting together a strong night off the bench for Rick Pitino.
And you have to show guys that they can take a step off of that. That's how these mid-majors are selling themselves now.
as I said, the poster child for this team, that even if you're under-recruited, you can become something special if you follow the program.
Yeah, both of those guys, Walter Clayton Jr., great coach, and Rick Pitino has cemented his legacy as one of the all-timers. Mitchell!
That was tame, honestly, compared to what he's capable of.
That Players Era tournament in Las Vegas beginning on Monday. There's another good-looking three. Ruben Prey dials it up from deep.